What does Senator Rick Scott think of Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthcast? Let's find out.
Gene Valentino's Grassroots podcast. He tells the truth. He tries to get information out there to make sure people make good, informed decisions.
Thank you, Senator Scott. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today's Grassroots Truthcast episode with your host and friend, Gene Valentino.
Thank you for having me here today. I had a friend who gave me this book on wit and wisdom of Winston Churchill. I'll preface what I'm saying by Winston Churchill's comment: I suppress with difficulty an impulse to become sententious. That's Winston Churchill saying that as much oratory as I have in my belly, I'm going to try not to say too much, which is a contradiction in terms. But he does give me license to proceed with some thoughts that I thought I'd share with you. First, about the election, Michael, I'd like to see Nikki and Ron back out of the races. The races now in New Hampshire and in South Carolina. Politically speaking this morning, if Trump can win a caucus in Iowa, if he's up 15 to 22 points in New Hampshire, if he's up 50 points over Nikki in her own state of South Carolina, where she was governor, then my concern today is that we not spend our resources, I should say the candidates not spend their resources on continuing contentiousness and move more aggressively now towards rallying the troops of all sides of the Republican Party behind Donald Trump to unequivocally send a message to this nation that the bad behavior on the Democrat Party side, which has evidenced itself, this isn't hyperbole on my part, the bad behavior on their side that has caused so much problem, be sent a message that our constitutional democracy, our Democrat Republic, will survive and outlast the angry behavior they've been harboring over the thought that Donald Trump may come back into office. It's not right. It's wrong. It's inconsistent with the principles of our democracy. And frankly, we've alluded to it in the past. The deep state folks are begging to find a reason. At the high level, 91 charges against Donald Trump right now in the court system. And every time he gets dragged into court, every time another issue erupts, his campaign account goes up in value, and so do his ratings. Now he's 17% over Nikki Haley, and I think it would be higher in New Hampshire now, but it's not. You know why? Governor Sununu over there has not moved fast enough at fixing the primary process in New Hampshire to ensure that independents who chose to be independent, they didn't choose to be Democrat, they didn't choose to be Republican, that the independents are entitled to participate in the primary process in the state of New Hampshire. Wrong. You picked a position, you picked an independent state you chose to be in, status, I should say. You no longer are entitled to vote in a Republican or Democrat primary, but you can in New Hampshire. But because the Democrats bypassed this primary process and caucus process in most states around the nation, we don't even see legitimate Democrats being able to step up to compete against the family of Republicans trying to legitimately make their way to the top. But the point I'm making is that Donald Trump's 17% lead over Nikki Haley, I submit to you, will be between 22 and 25% had this imperfection not existed in New Hampshire. Now switching gears over to South Carolina. If Nikki Haley, if you can hear me, if New Hampshire doesn't send you the message that they want Donald Trump, then when it happens in your own backyard, will you turn to Ron DeSantis and agree, both of you, in an orderly and professional way to back out and let Donald Trump run with it? Otherwise, you're providing fuel for the Democrat Party to continue to instigate and to promote nefarious behavior, which has been why he's been in these court cases, Trump that is, in these court cases up to now. An attempt to derail him has failed. Does anybody see that that is the agenda of the Democrat Party? We have to move beyond this reckless conspiratorial try to control the masses and their opinion, and that doesn't matter. Your opinion out there doesn't matter, Michael. We, the Democrats in the hierarchy of this nation, know better than you. We elitists who are trying to run your tell you to take gas stoves out of your kitchen, control your use of energy, adjust the thermostat in your house during this cold weather. We're now going to tell you who to vote for on the Democrat side. We're sticking with Biden. They have egg on their face and they don't know how to say I'm sorry.
You know, it's so funny because you talk about the gas stoves they're trying to take away, the air conditioner. They want your air conditioner to not cool as good as, as we need here in the South. But the funniest thing out of all of this that's happened is the last few days with this extreme cold weather that we see throughout the country. All of these electric vehicles just piled up in parking lots. They don't work in cold weather.
Well,
I mean, it's hilarious.
You were quick to say that, remind folks that Gene has a Tesla too. Yes, I bought my wife a Tesla, and we use it for 90% of our jaunts under 200 miles around the house here. That's fine. But I promise you, my gas combustion car is what she's taking to Atlanta today.
Yeah, it is just something that does not work. It does not work. It does work for certain things. For example, what you use it for around Pensacola, going to get groceries, doing your doctor's appointments, whatever you got to do around town. And they work great for that. And as long as you're there where you can charge it at your home and keep it inside your garage like you do. And of course, the cold weather is not that bad in Pensacola. We don't really see a lot of real cold weather in the South. We're seeing a few days of it now, but this is, it'll be over with soon, and we won't see it again until next year, and maybe not even next year. It may be 2 years from now before we see another really cold winter. But the bottom line is people that live in Minnesota and people that live in Wisconsin and even New York and places like that, they can't use electric vehicles under certain circumstances, and we've seen that over the last few days. So they're not 100%, but let me tell you what is 100%. That diesel F-350 truck sitting out in my parking lot right now.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
That'll get you there. Absolutely. You know what this is? This is more about their desire to control the narrative. So I have a story I'd like to read you if you can indulge me for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
This is something I picked up and was asked to share, and this complements what you just said. So the title of my little story here is entitled, "Don't Argue with a Donkey." The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." Their discussion heated up, so they submitted it to an arbitration before the lion, the king of the jungle. And even before reaching the clearing where the Lion King was sitting on his throne, the donkey shouted out loud, "Your Majesty, the grass is blue, right?" And the lion responded, "Yes, you're correct. The grass is blue." The donkey continues, and the tiger contradicts and annoys me. "Please punish him," he says. And the lion punishes the tiger for up to 5 years of silence. The donkey cheerfully went on his way, repeating, "See, the grass is blue. The grass is blue." and the tiger accepts his punishment. But ask the lion a question. Your Majesty, why have you punished me? Everyone knows the grass is green. And the lion says, yes, you're correct, but you're being punished because a brave and intelligent creature like you wasted your time arguing with a donkey. And on top of that, bothered me with a silly question that doesn't deserve attention. The worst way to waste your precious time is to argue with a fool and fanatic who is least bothered about the truth and the reality, but believes only in his own beliefs and unrealistic illusions. Don't involve yourself with pointless arguments and let that narrative transcend to the way we view the Democrat Party hyperbole that doesn't have the decency to bring Robert F. Kennedy, an anti-Fauci individual, to bring Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to the forefront as an alternative on the Democrat Party side as a candidate for the United States presidency.
Yeah. It's so true because when you argue, and I'll tell you what you can do. You can look at social media. When you argue with these fools on social media, you don't get anything but more foolishness. They're not going to come around. They believe what they believe. That's it. They are not going to come around to what you know is the undeniable truth that men are men and women are women, for example. That's a great point there, because men are men. You're born either a man or a woman, but they will tell you that you are born all of these different, I don't have to even describe it, right? Because we all know what they say. But it's absolutely unbelievable that we have to sit here and talk about that. And why would you argue with somebody that believes that? They're an idiot.
Supreme Court Justice couldn't answer the question, the difference between a man and a woman. If you ask this peasant, this lay person, me, one's got an X and Y chromosome and the other one's got two X's. And
there you go.
That's what makes it.
All right. That's it. We're out of time. Thank you for joining us as you do every Friday. Hope you have a great weekend.
Talk to me next week about the $1.8 billion of cash we've all forgotten about that funded the Houthis with Iran and Iraq.
That's right. We'll do it. See you then.
Best to you next week.
Hey friends, Gene Valentino. We just wrapped up another episode of Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthcasts. This is what you see above the waist. But below the waist is Mike Lindell's My Slippers. Up to 80% off. Hint, hint. But use the promo code, please, GeneV. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy the springtime, enjoy the year ahead of us in 2024. And stay cozy in a cozy slipper from My Slipper.